Hi everyone, I'm Deanne from Newfoundland, Canada. Welcome to my Flosstube channel, Stitching on the Rock. This is episode 35. Hi, it's been one of those days again. I can't seem to get this to work right. But we're gonna try, and hopefully this time it'll work out. I've had some new subscribers. Actually, I hit 500 subscribers yesterday, so welcome. Thanks for checking me out. If you came from Covered in Floss's channel, she shouted me out, so I'm happy to have you here. And if you haven't seen her channel, I'm going to link her down below. Check her out. She has 4 videos. I don't think she's put a 5th one up, but I haven't really been paying attention in the last couple of days. So go look and see. I've also been watching Fiber Arts Amy, who I'm sure you've all heard of because she does some beautiful mirabilias. My mirabilias have kind of gone into timeout. They haven't been calling to me, but I still love looking at them. So I'm going to link her down below as well. Sorry to anyone who's been around and was watching my May's All About Me and full coverage videos. I didn't put one up on Monday. Last week was a bit crazy running around preparing for my scrapbooking weekend. For those of you who don't know me, scrapbooking is my other hobby, and I go 3 or 4 times a year for a weekend, and that's where I scrapbook. I don't scrapbook at home. I just don't have anywhere to do it. And then I had the scrapbooking weekend, and then I got home, and on Sunday afternoon and 2 o'clock Monday morning, I woke up sick. And you don't want to hear about that. It wasn't pretty. So I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done in the last couple of weeks of May, but I'll share with you what I have gotten done. Everything that was nice and neat when I started this is now kind of just in a pile. So new people, I stitch my full coverage, which are all Heaven and Earth designs on 28 count 1/1. I'll share with you the fabric color if I know. And the way May was working was I was doing a new start on Monday, because the first was Monday. I was stitching 500 stitches on it. I was then spinning a wheel to tell me which full coverage whip I was going to work on. I was doing 500 stitches on that, and then going back and doing 400 stitches on my new start, and then spinning the wheel, doing 500 stitches, and go back and forth with the amount I was doing on my new start was going down every time until I got to 100, and then I worked on a whip, and then if I got back to that new start before the next week started, I would go back up to 500 stitches. Hopefully that makes sense. I did not write down my percentages, so you'll have to excuse me while I check on my tablet for my percentages. So the last time I was partway through my 500 on my whip, River's Edge by Kevin Daniel. So I finished that 500. I'm doing this extreme cross country. I'm stitching 37.99. I'm about 800 stitches away from being done with that, or 850. I'm doing this for my son. He's 15, going to be 16 at the end of July, which I can't get over. For 2 months, and he's going to be 16. He is on the autism spectrum disorder, and when he finds something he likes, he learns everything. So to me, a duck is a duck, but he knows all the species and can tell you all kinds of stuff about them. So this is where I am. Hopefully, sorry, trying to catch it so you guys can see it all. So that is the width of the piece. 1/1 on 28 count. It's on lichen gray, or lichen gray. I don't know how you pronounce the word. Basically, it's a green gray. And I have 4,377 stitches in total for 5.44%. Then after that, I started my 4th new start for May. And I'm going to put up pictures, so I guess you noticed a picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's done. And I'm going to do that for all of these. My 4th start was Warm at Home by Irina Gershimov. How you pronounce it, sorry. Yeah, Irina Garshimov. And I got 1,200 stitches done in that week for 1.75%. So here we are. It's stitched on ivory, and there it picks up all kinds of dust and cat hair and all that kind of stuff. So we have a cat, obviously, since I'm doing this, and she's like a calico, tortoise shell. I don't know which one you call it, but she's got oranges and browns and blacks and white, and so finding a piece that has her coloring in it is really hard. So the black and white worked out, and it only has 20 colors in it. So, and I do a lot of my projects, full coverage projects, diagonally. I find it helps with the like page break lines and stuff. So that's what I do. But now on my whips, other than River's Edge, which I started in extreme cross country, the ones that I started diagonally for May, I didn't continue with the diagonal because since I was only doing 500 stitches, I thought that would be a lot of color changes and that. So I just picked the color that had the most stitches either in the pattern or near where I was stitching and just stuck with that color. So some of them will look a little weird. Like the next one I'm going to show you, which is Mini Hometown Hero Baseball by Donna Gelsinger. I have 500 stitches in this, and I have a total of 3,092 stitches for 3.66%. So, like I said, instead of continuing my diagonal down here, I just picked this color and did 500 stitches in that. And then the second whip I worked on, I can't show you because I've had to toss it. It was Quick Stitch Anne of Green Gables by Amy Stewart, and I had made a mistake and was frogging it, and somehow or another I snagged into the fabric and broke and pulled a thread of the fabric. So now I had 2,000-ish stitches in, and I only started in March, so it wasn't a huge deal to but oh well. Thank goodness I don't do that very often. And then that was all the stitching I got done, except I started my 5th new start for May, which was Grand Slam by Stephen Paul Carlson. I think that's his name. And Mini Hometown Hero Baseball Grand Slam. We like baseball in this house. This is fabric I don't know. It's been in my stash for a while, and I wanted to use up some of it. And I'm calling it lemon, even though I don't know what the color is. But that's 500 stitches for 0.44%. And that's the stitching I got done because of things I mentioned. And I'll go into that at the end of the video for people who aren't interested in long life stuff. And it's not very much. It's just I was going to tell you about my scrapbooking weekend and Erin a little. So that's all the stitching I got done in May. June's plans are to catch up on my whip go because I didn't do any whip go in May because the 2 numbers that called up, neither one of them were full coverage. This month, both of them are full coverage. So I don't have any luck with that either. So May's numbers were 23 and 25. 23 says Christmas project. I wasn't working on one when I did up my whip go board. I didn't have any plans for one, and I don't have a decision yet. I will decide in a couple of days. So I got to look at my fabric stash to see what I have there, because I thought about doing I Heard the Bells by Darlene Dion Designs, which I'll put up a picture of, and I love, but I don't know if I have a piece of fabric, but I got to figure out what size fabric it needs. So I'll deal with that in a couple of days, because I started on the other whip go for May, which was 25, which was my little things sampler by Stitches Through the Years, and I'll put up a picture of what it's supposed to look like. I got 250 stitches done yesterday. I don't have a stitch count or like any goal or anything for my whip go. I just had 3 days, and so yesterday, today, and tomorrow, hopefully I'll get done. But I'll get what I'm working on done in it, and then start the next section of it. So here it is, what I have done. It's stitched 1/2 on 36 count light mocha. I'm using my own thread conversion. I just pulled out threads from my stash. I don't have a huge lot of specialty threads, but so far I'm liking what I picked. So what I worked on yesterday. I'm going to, if I can, what have I found? Oh, there it is. I'm just going to put this back on to make it easier for me to show you what I was working. So I worked on this motif right here, and I worked on this motif. I still have to finish up this little side of, I got that one all done, but I'm just going to bring that up, and there's a few more stitches up here, but this was the same color, so I filled it in on that one. So I will get that finished today. Then I was trying to decide if I would continue down here with the motifs going down the border, or if I would do this one and then start coming across. I haven't made up my mind yet, which I'm going to do. These are the threads that I picked out. They're kind of wrinkly, but so they're mostly tans and browns, but there's a couple of blues in there, and this one is like almost a greenish color. But yeah, so far I'm really liking it. And I won this pattern from Mouse Potato Designs in, I think it was December. Anyway, I'll post up, I'll put her down below. She gives away a giveaway every month and some lovely stuff. So I'll share that down. And then the other two whip goes for June are Hometown Hero Baseball, which I just showed you a little bit ago, and Snowflake Wonder, excuse me, by Lisa Victoria for Heaven and Earth Designs. And you can see that in my last video. I'll post up a picture of what it's supposed to look like, but you can see where I am in my last video. And other than that, for June, I don't really know what I'm going to do. Oh, that would be the baseball lineup for tonight. Sorry. I'm going to take a Mini Sunflower by Marion Broom, which I'll put up a picture of what it's supposed to look like, but you'll also see that in my last video where I am. It's the Hade I have the most work done on, and I think I might like do 100 stitches a day once I get my whip goes done, and try and get that one closer to 50% at least. And then I might just spin my wheel and see where I end up. I don't really have a whole lot. I don't usually make a whole lot of plans. I'm a kind of stitch what I feel like stitching on. And I think that's all of the stitching plans, stitching progress. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll just go through. Yeah. Now, I have no haul to share with you this video. I just ordered the June floss of the month from Brennan Needle. I'll link them down below. They're not doing it in July and August, but if you want June, suggest you go ahead and order. It's mystery, but like it's a club, but you pay each month. You don't buy a subscription for the year or whatever. I'm gonna link Patty's floss tube down below. She's one of the designers or owners, but I'm not sure if Cheryl has a floss tube. I'll ask Patty when I see her next week, and if she does, I'll link her next week. And then I think I might have told you in the last video, maybe, I'm not sure. For anyone new, I don't have a really good memory. I'm not even sure what I did an hour ago. If I told you that a scrapbooking friend had called and said she had found some cross-stitch books and that in her basement when she was, and wondered if I wanted, because she knew that I cross-stitched, and I said, sure. I said, I'll pick out what I want and then I'll share with other people I know who cross-stitch. And I thought she might bring a bag or... No. Hang on, this is heavy. Oh my gosh, there you go. It's heavy. There's some Ada in there and some hoops and things, but it's mostly magazines or pattern books. Well, I sat down and went through for myself, and I got, I think it's about a dozen. That's my little pile, and that's, I wouldn't even say it's a 16th of what's in that tub. It's mostly Stony Creek magazines and Stony Creek pattern book leaflets. There's a couple other magazines, different ones. I'm not going to show you everything and why I took them, because I don't even know now. But I did pick out 3 leaflets, so I'll show you those. So this is Cross My Heart's seasonal windows, which I thought was a cool idea, because I've been trying to come up with some seasonal stuff to have around the house. So I really like the fall one. I'm a fall person, so that one right there, it's got like pumpkins in it and leaves, and I really like that one. And then I picked up Tricky Treats, which is a Halloween one, and this is a Stony Creek one, but I like the little small ones that are down here at the bottom. I thought they'd be cool for little ornaments or pillows or something. I thought they were really cute. And my favorite thing that she had there is Because of Spring by Paula Vaughn. Now, I haven't stitched Paula Vaughn in probably, I was going to say 20 years, but it must be closer to 30 years. No, probably 20, 25 years. But I have a ton of books, and this was one of the ones I had. And when I stitched Paula Vaughn, I was stitching them on Ada, and I don't have to do quarter stitches on Ada anymore. So one of these days I might decide to do some Paula Vaughn, at least some of the small ones. So that was great. And so when the girls come here next Saturday, I'm going to let them go through, and if there's anything left, it'll go into my little drawer of giveaway things. And speaking of giveaways, last stitching item is thank you to my 500 subscribers. I have 3 things here. And so you have to be a subscriber, like the video. I have to be 18 or older, and don't use prize, giveaway, win, all of those words that bring people who aren't cross stitchers to the channel. So all you have to do, comment, and at the end of your comment, 1, 2, or 3, or all 3, or some combination of 1, 2, and 3. So first up, thanks to one of my subscribers, we have Peace by Stony Creek. I noticed actually when I pulled them out, because I just reached in my hand and pulled out one of them, that there are 3 others, but you'll get one for free if you win, and you can either invest in the others, or it looks really cute on its own. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a piece of fabric that I had in my stash. It is 28 count opalescent Lugana. It's 12 inches by 17 inches, and it's a lovely like shade of blue. It might have a little bit of light, so it would be really nice, like sky kind of color. I'm not going to open it up and spread it out because it looks so nice, and I'll never get it folded back in there like that. So that's number 2. And number 3 are a couple of threads from Patty and Cheryl, the lovely ladies at Rin & Nettle. We have 2. Hopefully you won't see the picture behind. And I'll hold them up like that, so hopefully you get a better view of them. It's a lovely olive green, and the other one is like a gray background, but it's got multicolor blotches in it. And of course, their naming. They're all their names are the thread. If you've never heard of Brennan Nettle, are Newfoundland words, Newfoundland sayings, because they're here in Newfoundland. And this one is Turnt, T-U-R-N-T, and the olive green one. And this one, get my Newfoundland on. Tings your fodder keeps in the shed. And if you want if you want. See, Newfoundland on me. If you want a translation, it is things your father keeps in his shed. So that's number 3, those two. So, like I said, comment, put 1, 2, or 3, or 1, 2, and 3, whichever you prefer. And that, my lovely people, is the end of my stitching. So I'm just going to give you a little life update. A little, nothing bad or anything like that has happened. So don't worry about that. What a week I had. So, little background. Like I said, I do a scrapbooking weekend 3 or 4 times a year. Mostly with one of my friends organizes. And we've been going for the last 3 years or so. 3 times a year, pretty much. I think we had to cancel 1 or 2. To a Holiday Inn Express here in town. It's 20 minutes from my house, but it's 5 minutes from my mother's house, so I would go for the days until 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and then I would go to my mom's and spend the night. And it's a lovely, really fairly new hotel, I would say. No more than 10 years old, probably not even that. And they don't have a restaurant, but they offer breakfast with the room, and they have a little seating area for everyone when they have breakfast. And they had a big double boardroom, I guess, or event room that we would be in. There was probably 25 of us there most of the time, and we were in groups of 4 or 5 spread around the room, and it was great. You know, you pull your car up to the front, and they have the luggage trolleys, and you put all your stuff on, and it was just along by the check-in counter, and then a turn, and then a big double door into the room. And meals, one night we'd all go in on Chinese food, and we'd have a great big order of Chinese food. And then the other suppers, usually 3 or 4 of us would get together and go, either someone would go and take out somewhere, or, you know, we'd have it delivered or whatever. It was my cheat weekend, you know. Like I said, 3 times a year I'd have takeout from, you know, from Friday supper to Friday lunchtime until Sunday lunchtime. And across the street was a Tim Hortons and a Subway, so I'd get my lunches there pretty cheap. They raised their prices on their hotel rooms, which didn't affect me because I didn't stay there. So last November, my friend organized one at a different place, which is 10 minutes from my house, so I could come home for a night. It's a hotel motel. It was an old place, and they actually redid the building, or no, built it next door or to the old one, or something. Someone mentioned something about the old place this weekend, but I didn't really pay attention to that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Once again, no restaurant, but it's more of an industrial area. So I found out after, on Sunday, that there was a Subway in the gas station next door. Oh, I could have went there for lunch one day. But anyway, the girl who organized it got a suite there, which had a kitchen. So they had a stove and a fridge, and so she made the suggestion that we do potluck. And the girls all went along with it, and so I said, okay. So she had us, you know, say what we wanted to make, and then she rearranged the schedule of who brought what. So both of mine were on Friday. I had a salad that I did for lunch on Friday and dessert for supper on Friday. But I was doing a spinach salad, so, well, I could go on. Wednesday, I went with my sister into Costco, and I went and got spinach and went and got strawberries and you know, got all the stuff I needed for the salad dressing and all of that. And then I was doing one of my favorite desserts that I do all the time, brownie pie, for supper. But I had to bake it, and then I serve it with ice cream, so I had to get ice cream and make sure I got it out there and into the freezer so it didn't melt. And the chocolate sauce, the hot fudge sauce, so I make it myself. So I had to make that up at home, and then when it came time to, I had to microwave it and get it heated up. So, and it took a lot of work. And then they do have the trolley things there, but it wasn't like the other hotel. I'd take the trolley down a hallway and turn and get a door open and get the trolley through. And then we got to the room. I had to get that door open and get the trolley through. You know, it wasn't a lot of work, but it was a lot more work. And the room, we only had 12 of us, and they were jam packed. And so there wasn't any getting up and moving around and stretching or anything like that. And then we didn't have the nice boardroom office chairs that we had at the other hotel. We had not plastic. They're not plastic. I suppose there's some kind of like a molded chair. It wasn't comfortable. By Sunday my back was gone. And like I said, I got sick when I got home, and I think it was all the different foods and not knowing the ingredients, and something didn't sit right with me. And besides that, like, I took the time and made everything fresh and made like my own salad dressing, my own hot chocolate sauce. And some girls brought boxes of frozen food and heated it up in the oven, and that's what they brought. Like, anyway, needless to say, I wasn't all that happy with my weekend. I still scrapbooked and still scrapbooking, and it was still nice to see some of the girls, but it wasn't like, and I don't think I'll be going back if that's where she's having the next one. She's just, I didn't enjoy my weekends as much as I used to down at the other hotel. And that's my opinion. I know, but anyway. Other than that, Aaron's school is winding down. 3 weeks left. They're done with all their school tests and that. They're having end of year tests in 3 of his subjects: math, English, and science. And when I went to school, and up until COVID in here, at some grade 11, and all grade 12 did public exams, which were like government final exams worth about 30 or 40% of your course mark. I don't think they're as heavily, like, for getting into university. I know that I think the UK and maybe even the States write an exam and kind of tell you which university you get to go into or something. They're not quite that serious, but they were worth a good fraction of your course, and I hated them. I found them very stressful, and I found them to be more on who could remember what, because they used to be on like everything you did in the course from September to June. These are not. Well, they are in the math and the science, but they're only worth like 10 to 15% of the course mark. So not quite so stressful and not so valued. And Aaron is very smart and has done really well in all of his courses. He's got an 85-ish average, which is really good. The one course that he struggles with is English, because he's on the spectrum. Kids there tend to be very literal, and English is a lot of opinion and what did the author mean by this and that type of stuff, which Aaron struggles with. Heck, I struggle with it too, and I'm not on the spectrum. But he's looking forward to being done with school, and like I said, turning 16 and finishing his first year of high school. And Mom is like, "No, he's 5. Remember, he's 5." Anyway, because as he gets older, I get older too. And that's it, I guess. Thanks for sticking with me if you're still around. I'll be back. I'm not exactly sure if it'll be this coming weekend, because not this weekend, obviously, but next weekend Aaron is at his dad's, and that's usually when I videotape. Don't know what we're going to do in the summertime, but we'll see. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.